Jack Sagan was one of many children born into a large Italian family in Monterey, California. In 1985, Paula DeRocher was murdered in her apartment in Monterey. There were no witnesses. Jack was implicated in this crime because two jailhouse informants, several months after the crime, told law enforcement that Jack Sagan, who was in custody at that time for an unrelated burglary, had confessed to killing Paula DeRocher in her apartment several months earlier. He went to trial. The jury convicted Jack.
I said, "Judge, you're making a big mistake. I did not kill that woman." He looked dead at me and told me, "That could be."
Jailhouse informants are motivated by their own self-interest to fabricate something that another inmate did something in order to obtain benefits for themselves.
Jack fought and fought and fought, and eventually when we became involved, we realized that DNA testing was what needed to happen in this case. And the result of that testing was that Jack Sagan's DNA was completely absent from a crime scene that was covered in the DNA of many other people. On October 11th, 2019, Jack walked out of Donovan State Prison a free man. He just wanted everybody to know that he didn't do it, and he wanted the person who actually killed Paula DeRocher to be found and to be held responsible for the crime. Unfortunately, in December of 2020, Jack Sagan died of COVID-19.
I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that they convicted me for a murder I didn't even do. Never knew this woman, never met this woman. And these two informants, they used me.
When DNA came about in our system, that's when we really started to figure out patterns in our system that led to wrongful convictions. That was like the most solid proof that we are convicting innocent people. And one of the things it unveiled was the use of jailhouse informants. And in 1989, Los Angeles County was at the heart of this giant informant scandal. And one of the informants did this expose on 60 Minutes and demonstrated how easy it was for him to fabricate a confession by an inmate. That was back in 1989. And jailhouse informants are still used to this day.
Jack Sagan was a good human being. He was a dad, he was a brother. He was a lot of things to a lot of different people. And the jailhouse informants destroyed his ability to continue to have those relationships with his loved ones.
If AB 679 existed back in 1986 when Jack was convicted, those two jailhouse informants would not be testifying, which meant that law enforcement could not rely on them to prove their case, which means we would hope that law enforcement would realize they were going down the wrong path and their investigation would have shifted to the right path, which would have led to the right person who committed that crime and not Jack.